Okay, in this video I'm going to look for not just the area of the P code table, which is here, so the OBD or P code fault table. I'm not just going to look for the area of it, which we've already found in a previous video, but what I'm going to try to do is actually find it exactly and define it and say this is where it starts, this is where it ends, this is P code table. Now I'm going to take a guess that it starts somewhere in this area because there's lots of these spikes here and then it suddenly goes flat. So I'm going to take a guess that it starts in this area. So I'm going to change the text view. Now I'll go away from it a little bit because I just want to show you a little trick. You want to change to the hexadecimal view. And the little trick, of course, is not a great trick, but the little trick is to use the search button. And what you want to search for is this: 0607, 0607, 0607, 0607. In other words, 4 0607s. And and it doesn't actually matter. This will probably work even if you left this in decimal view. So if you forget to change to hexadecimal, you'll probably still get to the right spot and just have the wrong numbers when you get there. So here we go, search. Bing, there we are, 0607, 0607, 0607, 0607. It's taken me straight to the point that I'm looking for. Now I'd already highlighted this in pink so that I'd know I was here, and just looking at the numbers of course, but I've put a few highlights on here to remind myself because this is so complicated. Right. Once you've done that, what you do is you press W and you keep on pressing W until you've only got 4 columns. And the reason you only want 4 columns is you want all of those 4 in one column. Now this occurs a lot in a lot of EDC16 files, which is why it's a neat trick. With luck, any file you're looking at will also do this. And once you've done that, and of course if you find out that you have to search for 3 because there wasn't 4, then you've got slightly more of a problem, but assuming that you've got 4 in a row like that, then you are pretty set to go in terms of getting started for looking at your whole block. Because once those 4 are in a line, it means the whole table is in a line. So now we know that the start must be somewhere up here at the beginning and the end must be somewhere down there at the end. But we've got the whole thing lined up correctly because those 4 are in a line. Now, where does the table start? Well, the other reason for picking these is that they are always at the beginning or thereabouts. So where does it start? It probably starts there. It won't start there because this has already lined the table up for us, and that would be one odd value at the end of those 3. And those 3 don't fit in because the ones around them don't really fit in with any pattern, because we've seen that by looking at the spikes. So we know that this area is in the spiky area. So here's the flat area that we were looking at. So that is probably the beginning, not that. But of course, if I didn't know about these 4, I didn't put them in a straight line and I just went like that and had them all in a bit of a mess, and I was just searching through these, where would it start? I mean, would it start with that naught there? Any of these noughts? That one? This one? So it helps a great deal if you can manage to get those 4 into a line first. So okay, that's the start. Now what I normally do at this point is I count. So I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now I'd be here all day, which is why I've left some little markers in here. There's one there, that's 100, that's the 100th row. At least I hope that's the 100th row. There's another one there, that's the 200th row, I hope. There's another little marker there, that's 300. Now, remember this is all lined up, we hope. So by the time I get to here, I stop there and suddenly the numbers become bigger. And if I look at that and I go to 2D view, there's where they suddenly jump up. And I go back to text. So there's where the numbers suddenly jump up, which would suggest that this is the last number. And it has to be in this right hand corner because we've already established that there are blocks of 4 and we've already lined up one block with the 0607, 0607, 0607, 0607. So we should be good to go. Now from start to here was 383, or was it 283? 383, let's say. So I've lost track. How stupid can you get? Oh. We'll go back and double check, because this is where having the thing in 4-column view becomes a pain, because obviously it takes much longer to find anything. Right, there we are, there was the start. Now, what did I say that was? You're probably listening to this and thinking, what an idiot. Right, that was 100. That was 200. That was 300, I hope. So it should be 300. I'm pretty sure it was 383. The confusion is arising, and you probably can't see this, but when I mouse over this, I'm getting a little pop-up that is jumping up and saying to me 283, which is what caused me to stop for a second, because I thought I'd counted 383, but I'm getting a pop-up message that's yelling at me 283, where I've highlighted it. So what I'll do is I'll just go up to search, insert edit comment, and it looks like you can see I've put P code end, lots of question marks, but I've put 283, which I presumably meant to be 383. Then I ticked background and pink and said OK, so that's why I got myself a little bit confused for a minute. Right, now obviously at this stage what I would do is I would write down, and obviously I have because I've written it there, but I would write down that number 383 because I need to find 3 lots of 383 or I can't change any codes. So 383. Right, now I'll stop there and start the next video, but the next video will of course start here because the next place we need to look at is the VAG codes. And where do the VAG codes start? Well, they presumably start where the P codes end, so hopefully they start there. So I'll stop there.